let's get this conversation started and Happy New Year. There we go. Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm really well. I've got a little bit of a sun glare happening. Hold on, let me close this curtain.
We're all about the natural lighting. That's the best.
Exactly.
Well, thanks
Oh,
so much for being here with us on Tomorrow by Today, Catherine. We're so excited to have you here, and you're our first guest of the year, which is exciting.
I know. Very excited to be here with you this morning.
Thank you. So, how did you and your family ring in the new year this weekend?
We were actually in Hawaii with lots of friends and family, trying to just stay away from COVID. It's just, isn't it insane? It's like here we
It's
are,
raging. Yeah.
it's raining. So we still had fun. We wore masks, and I did a little, actually David, my husband's really good friends with Michael Bublé because he basically discovered him. And so Michael was there with all his family, and Michael and I did like an impromptu New Year's Eve kind of concert for all the like hotel guests. So it was really fun.
That's amazing. Did you capture this on camera? Is it recorded somewhere?
It is recorded. You know, a couple people posted it, and I was so tired that night. I was wiped out that I never managed to repost anything. So I didn't post it, but I'm sure lots of people saw it out there.
Oh my goodness, how cool is that? Well, I know so many people at home, when there's a new year, people write out their resolutions. And I'm curious if you have any New Year's resolutions for 2022. Is that something that you do?
I knew you were going to ask me this because it's always such an interesting question to ask people. And I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I feel like I used to do them more. But what I like to do is write down just kind of like uh, things that I pray and wish for and hope for. Like the main things that I always set for intention for the new year is uh, health and peace of mind. And what else? I guess I have personal goals, like, yeah, there are things that I want to achieve, but I always feel like New Year's resolutions get clouded with things like, oh, I want to fit into those pair of jeans, and I think hopefully we're moving towards more of like a overall better consciousness for New Year's, and not so much like like, I don't know, like I said, fitting into a pair of jeans or whatever.
Yeah, they also tend to be things that aren't tangible after a certain amount of time, right? Like you say, you want to do these, and then after 2 to 3 months, I feel like most people, it's hard to follow through
Yeah,
with them. So I
yeah.
like
I mean,
that.
last year was the best year of my life because I gave birth to my baby boy. So I was in bliss the entire year. I got to, as we're going to talk about, have an amazing new venture partnership with a a body wear company, Mind. And so there were like a lot of things that were surprising to me that I didn't expect. So it was definitely a wonderful year. And so the things I hope and pray for are like just that safety for my family, health for my family and friends, peace, all that. So
I
that's what I
love
think.
that. Well, let's talk a little bit about your body wear line because it's so exciting. And I think fans want to know, why did you want to tap into body wear of all categories when it came to fashion?
Well, it's such a cool venture for me. I think that when you are a woman expecting, it's your body changes so much. Like, there's just so many things that happen. And comfort becomes a very important thing. I used to be like one of those women who would suffer with a wire bra. Like, I would just wear one because I was like, I loved the shape that it gave me. And I would just wear it for hours on end. But then I got pregnant, and your boobs get really big, your body changes, and all I cared about was comfort. So partnering with a company that is their main focus, but also not sacrificing like the way that it looks, the appeal of it, the beauty of it. So Helena, who is the founder of the company, is just totally in tune with the everyday woman. And also, not having to go and buy different bras for different seasons of your life, right? Like, sometimes you're up 10 pounds, sometimes you're down 10 pounds, sometimes you're pregnant and you're up, 30, 40, 50 pounds, however it is. For every woman is different. So this bra changes with your body. And that's kind of revolutionary. Like, we've never, I mean, not gonna lie, I've been seeing a lot of companies out there copying Mind bra technology. So we're obviously onto something really, really great.
That's great to hear, though. And how involved were you in the design process? It sounds like pretty heavily.
Well, so I mean, Helena, she's the genius behind the brand. Um, I cannot take any credit for like the genius behind all of it. I mean, really, it's a partnership to get awareness around the brand, and also like I picked out colors and things like that and the styles that I particularly loved. But no, as far as the engineering of the actual bra it's all Helena. I mean, she has a very rich history in creating brands for other companies, so it's all her really.
Well, it's super exciting. And I know that it's been a huge part of what you've been up to in the last couple of months. In other news of what you've been doing, you were recently on The Masked Singer with your husband.
Yeah.
Fans got to see. Why did you and David decide to go on this show together?
Yeah. We had so much fun. I mean, they definitely had to talk us into it because we typically try not to do too much stuff together. I mean, we'll do like tours and stuff like that together, but on a big platform like a television show, we don't really do too much stuff like that together now that we're a couple. I mean, we obviously did when we were not a couple, but we're so glad that we said yes because we had so much fun. We got so into it. We were so bummed when we lost. We were, I mean, obviously Queen of Hearts was amazing. And I'm friends with Todrick, who was the bull, and he was definitely my favorite. And I told him, I said, oh my God, I'm so glad we didn't go against you because I would have been so nervous every time. Yeah, I mean, we just ended up having so much fun. I mean, so basically we got talked into doing it, weren't sure what the experience was going to be like, and then we were so happy that we did it because we just really, it was like, it's a very isolating experience if you do it by yourself, but if you do it with one other person, which we were lucky enough to do it, you're kind of like in this, not kind of, you're in a bubble, just the two of you, and it's such an intimate experience. And it's also ridiculous, like, you know, you're in this costume, you feel like you're in a little bit of a circus, but just laughing through it all is so much fun.
And you're no stranger to a music competition, obviously having been on American Idol, but how did the experience of competing on Idol differ, you know, from this one? Did you feel as competitive when it came to?
Yeah, I mean, I thought there'd be an element of not being as nervous because you're hiding literally behind a mask. But I was still just as nervous. I mean, competitions are nerve-wracking, and I mean, maybe I wasn't as nervous. I've had some years to back up all my experience and all that. But I mean, when you're walking on stage, you just reminded you of like the smell of the sound stage and all that. You're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what it was like when I was back on the first competition.
That's funny. What did you and David learn about each other through doing this together?
Let's see. I mean, we already really, on a professional level, we actually knew each other the best because that's how we started out as friends. When we met on American Idol 16 years ago, for those of you who don't know that. So we, a long time ago, met that way, did a lot of touring together, shows together, charity events together. So I don't think there was anything that surprising about us being on a stage together because we just know each other in that way. We're really, I mean, I already knew that David doesn't do anything half-assed. He does everything full bore. So like he couldn't help himself. There's a whole musical team on the show that do a great job, but like he couldn't help but just take control and, you know, put his own little sprinkle on it. No, pun intended, I guess.
Have you guys ever thought about hosting your own music competition series together?
We've had some conversations actually with the producer from the show, and I mean, I don't know if it'll come to anything, but we've had conversations about it. I mean, it's funny because that's David's like dream job, that he would have loved to have been the host on Jeopardy or something. And I said, you're like the most respected producer of all time, at least of our generation. You've had so many hits. I was like, and you want to be a host on a game show? That is so mind blowing. But, you know, it is mindless fun. And good old family fun, and it's a great job to go to every day. So I kind of get it.
Definitely. And he's a multi-passionate individual. So it sort of makes sense. That's fun though. You guys obviously together went through this experience, and now as COVID is now sort of, again, we talked about raging a little bit more, you guys were posting these incredible Instagram lives together where he was playing, you were singing all throughout the height when the pandemic just began. What song is on your bucket list next for you guys to perform together?
Well, David is doing these tour dates all throughout Florida and like some in Atlanta. So we did 3 weeks right before up to Christmas. I bailed out the last 3 shows because I had some conflicts, and I also really need to get Rennie, my son, home to sleep in his own bed because he was just a little road rat and he was doing great. But he has more dates coming up in January, and I'm supposed to go on them with him. And we're trying to decide what to do just because COVID is kind of all over the place right now, and people are starting to cancel shows, and trying to find a way to possibly not cancel the show. So which means we might have to scale back the show, have less people on stage. So could mean it could be like a little Kat and Dave show, but we're still trying to figure it out. I mean, really love for people to go see his full Realize show, but we don't want to have to cancel anything. I think everyone's kind of tired of canceling things and wanting people to just figure it out. Yeah. So we're kind of trying to figure that out right now as we speak.
It makes sense. How have you balanced in the last year being on tour with your husband, being a mom, having your own bodywear collaboration? What's been the key to doing it all?
Well, having a nanny, there's no way you can do any things without somebody to take care of your baby while you're trying to do some other things. But listen, I've been really lucky that I haven't been overwhelmed with things. We've had a really great baby. I've said that a million times. He's now 10 months. So he's starting to get like a little wild, a little fidgety and stuff like that. But I mean, we're just 3 of us right now. We're isolated. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, our interview's at 9:30. Thank God he's going to sleep at 9, because what would I do? I mean, you have to have, they always say it takes a village. You have to have people help you. And some people have family members. Some people have a nanny. I'm lucky my mom lives in LA. So I've had my mom help me. And also my husband obviously helps me, but we're usually on stage working together. Family and friends, and just building a community. And that's pretty much how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have people around who can help. And of course, like your mom, and like you're saying, that's, definitely really helpful. Last week on Instagram, it's no surprise, one of the posts that your husband posted went viral. And
crazy.
Yeah, what was your reaction when you saw how wild fans went?
Well, I mean, listen, nowadays you post something on Instagram and the tabloids, or whatever you want to call them, the news outlets, are just looking for things to fill their websites, right? So you have to always think of it from that perspective. Like, okay, you get it. You're part of the clickbait. And so I understand that. So I saw it like starting to get some reposting on like the news outlets or whatever, and I was like, oh, whatever, what a big deal. That's normal. They do that. You can post literally nothing, and Daily Mail will post about it. When it started to get like a little bit more intense, where people were not the website so much, but they were I guess not pundits, I guess influencers, as you should say, online, really offended by something so innocent. That's when I was just like, okay, this is getting out of control. We used to have like this whole mentality that we were for the pursuit of happiness, right? Like, I mean, I'm a proud American, love America, but I love that, like the pursuit of happiness. And now we are the pursuit of never being offended. It's just, we live in this society where we think that we can never be offended by anything, even by something that's innocent, even something that's a joke, and it's just, for me, it's out of control. It's completely out of control. And they make something out of nothing. And listen, I've always sensitive to people's feelings, but this was crazy. So that's my perspective. And obviously some people don't agree and they're entitled to their opinion, you know, like they're
Yeah.
entitled to their opinion. But, you know, there's this thing where people think they can just, I mean, even people on your live, like they just think they can write anything and it makes them feel powerful. It's like, you know what my message is to you? Go get a therapist because you're crazy. That's my message.
Well, on your Instagram profile, you responded, you know, to what was going on, and you talked about your own personal experience with eating disorders over the years, which I think so many people can relate to, and it's so brave to always be able to publicly talk about something like that. Is there anything else you want
I mean,
fans to know?
I don't always publicly talk about it. I talked about that, I think like 15 years ago when I came off of American Idol, and I was young, and I'm regret sharing that information. I think it's important information, if you feel called to talk about it. But that doesn't make you the poster child for anybody who's struggling with issues with their food. I mean, I think I represent a really, also I should restate, that doesn't mean that you're then forever labeled as someone who has an eating disorder. You can be, I could be a representation of someone who has moved through that, right?
Yeah.
And has like, and is a picture of health. And some people think a picture of health is something different than what it is to me. But, you know, actually when I've been thinner in my weight, is when I have the least amount of noise going on up here. That's when I feel actually the healthiest. And I mean up in the mind, right? We're talking about mental health. So, yeah, I mean, I love to be a representation of someone who has really like gone through some hard stuff. Like, you know, weight stuff is a really difficult thing for people. And, you know, I want to be a representation of a healthy example of how you can move through it.
Well, I see in the comments here, so many people are relating to what you're saying, and just look at you as being so real. So thank you for speaking on this. I know a lot of the fans appreciate this. But now, obviously, being a mom, your son, like you said, he's almost going to be a year old in February. When you look back so far at your experience of being a mom, what have you learned most about yourself?
That I am so Aries, I'm an Aries. Typically, I think like one of their traits is that they're not that patient, you know. And there are times that I'm not that patient, I'll admit. Not like so much with like a stranger or but you know, like your husband, you're sometimes not as patient, or my mom, I'm not as patient. But I guess the love of a child, the love of a mother to a child is just like I mean, I've really surprised myself. I'll do anything for that kid. I mean, oh gosh, I hope that I'm also hopefully a good disciplinarian, but yeah, I mean, I just have so much patience for him.
Patience is a virtue, and that's great though. And I think it's going to be so fun to see, you know, as he grows up, he's going to be singing, playing piano. I have a feeling with
He really loves music. I mean, so far, I mean, I don't know what kid doesn't, who doesn't love music, but he's definitely intrigued when the music comes on. He's really attentive and is listening and takes everything in.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Well, I want to remind the fans in the last few minutes now, you guys can submit questions in the little question mark widget at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, and we'll be able to put some of these up here for Catherine to answer. But in the meantime, while people do that, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, Catherine. So what are some of your favorite Valentine's Day traditions with David?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I was at Target yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? It doesn't matter. And I could not believe it. I said, seriously? Like we have barely rung in the new year and we already have Valentine stuff.
Crazy.
You know, I think that now that I have a baby, I'm not that concerned. I'm not really thinking about Valentine's Day. And I'm usually not one of those people. Some people are like, oh, Valentine's Day, it's so like lame. And I'm always like, no, celebrate every holiday or it's not really a holiday, but any excuse to celebrate. And I do love that. But
yeah,
that I'm probably not going to be paying attention to it as much just because I'm very, very busy. I mean, you stay busy when you have a baby. You're running around all over the house, cleaning up after everything. So what was your question about Valentine's Day?
Just what some of your favorite traditions are that you and David have done together in the past.
The things we love doing are having dinner with friends, having dinner with each other. I mean, I love food, as you know, any person who has struggled with like weight and all that loves food. It's not an issue of not loving food. So I love to go out for nice restaurants. I'm a foodie. It's really kind of simple. I mean, I don't have any. My mom always brings over, this is where I probably get it from. My mom always brings over tons of Valentine's chocolates and like a bag full of goodies and stuff. So I always look forward to it. I mean, she's always giving like little knickknacks and stuff like that. So um, I
Love that.
I look forward to that. But I mean, I guess I'll have to set my own traditions for Rennie.
You do. You definitely do. Well, let's start with the fan questions right now. Emilio here wants to know, Catherine, will there be a second jazz Great American Songbook album? Will it have My Funny Valentine this time?
Ooh, that's a great question. I love that song. And actually, I think I sang that song, a short snippet of it when I was in, remember that thing that I have on American Idol was called Hell Week or something, or
Yes.
it was like a week where they would torture the contestants with like sleep deprivation. And I did a little snippet of My Funny Valentine, and I should definitely do that song. But I really want to make an album with David, but he and I are both not that motivated. So I don't know when we're going to do that. He's so funny. He's always like, I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to work anymore. But maybe we'll come up with something really simple. So I would love to do that with him.
Oh, that would be amazing. I know everyone would be so excited about that. Jenny here wants to know, Catherine, do you stay in contact with your Scorpion castmates?
Yeah, a couple, not that it's weird, like not as many as we'd think. Robert Patrick, I'm friends with. I stay in contact with some of the crew members. Elias, we were, first of all, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. So it's a little bit like kind of when you move on from a relationship, you don't talk too much, but very, very friendly, and a little message here and there, always wishing him well and him doing the same. So that's pretty much it. I mean, such a crazy thing because you spend so much time together, 4 years, every day, 14 hours a day, and then it's over and everyone, I mean, I just try to think of how many things have happened since the show has ended, and it's just everyone moves on in such a quick way.
It is. It's wild. The user here, OG Clara, wants to know, Catherine, what do you do to stay positive amidst all the negativity?
Oh, I mean, it's honestly, I guess it's having a lot of experience with. I remember. I think I've told this story before, but I remember when I was on American Idol, I was 21 years old, and I went on to like. That was when I think Space, my MySpace was. I don't even know how to call it.
Yeah, MySpace.
Had my own. I remember going on and seeing like mean comments or something, and it was devastating. It was so upsetting. Like, how could somebody say that about me? And it was so upsetting. And I think it's just years of that. I mean, I don't really read that much of it anyway. And just getting older too, and also realizing it's not real. Like those comments are real people, but their reality is something so false. And even when I hear about like some gossipy story, some celebrity, and then I get inside information and I see what actually the story is being portrayed in the press, and I actually know what the real story is, it's like, I wish people could really, no matter what the story is, could really tell themselves, you have no idea what actually has happened. And that's what, so I guess I just don't, it doesn't really bother me that much. It really doesn't. I think it's just years of experience of kind of, maybe you just get numb to it and you just think, oh, whatever. And I guess I just have a strong sense of character, and I've made mistakes, and I know the things that I've done that have not been, the smart choices for my life. And those are the things that I like to look at and go, okay, I can get better on this and this, that, and that, make better decisions. But the things that the comments that people make that I mean, it's just, it doesn't really stick that much. I was more like protective of my husband on this last thing, like it was more just an outrage for, seriously, you guys are going to freak out about this?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to freak out about? So.
Well, you definitely have a strong character. That is for sure. Kathy here wants to know, she loved you in Waitress, as did I. Any more Broadway aspirations?
Yes, I mean, I would love to do another Broadway show. I would love to do something that's original. So I've been working on something, a couple things, got my, my feelers out, and hopefully one of the things is something that my husband is working on. It's not Betty Boop, although you never know. It's a show that my husband's working on, but another show, and a director's on board who I worked on Smash with. So that would be really exciting, but it is still a little bit of a ways away. So we have some time to kind of keep working on it.
Something for everyone to look forward to. Mr. Simpson wants to know, what is your favorite piece from your Mind collection?
Oh, for sure. Oh God, I was gonna say it's a cross between so the bodysuits I'm obsessed with. Just because you can also, you don't need to you don't need to wear underwear or a bra if you don't. So I'm very much in love with the bodysuits, but the bras are probably something that I consistently wear. So the mid V, it's kind of like a baby pink. It's not baby pink, but it's that pretty light pink that we keep selling out of, which is very, very awesome. And it's really cool because I was just talking to Helena this morning, and we are kind of talking about doing another collaboration in the new year. So hopefully we'll have some new looks, new styles, really good stuff. So, but yeah, I would say that definitely the bodysuit is something I'm obsessed with because it's so convenient all around. No underwear, just no. I mean, every body's different, so maybe that doesn't work for people, but for me, it worked great. But I do wear the bras, the mid V, the most consistently. And I don't. It's embarrassing. Like, I don't take them off for like 24 hours. If I manage to not shower like for a day, like I'm just having one of those days where we're running around and we're not like, out in the public, but we're running around I don't take it off. I don't.
Oh my gosh, then they must be really comfortable, because I feel like that's a rare thing as a woman.
You don't take them off. They're that comfortable.
Oh my goodness, love that. We're going to take one more question here from Julia, who wants to say and ask, she loves your relationship with David's daughters. How has the transition been coming in as their stepmom?
Listen, they are super, super supportive of their dad. They're protective of their dad. And so if their dad loves someone, they immediately go to love someone. And I can't express like how wonderful they've been to me. We've had really great communication with all of them, with all of his daughters. So it feels more like, I mean, I'm really not I'm a stepmom, I guess, on paper, but it really doesn't feel like a stepmom situation. That would be very strange, being that we're all the same age. It's more like a nice friendship. So, and sometimes you're closer with some of the others, and I mean, there's like anything in life, you're closer to some of them than the others, and it kind of yings and yangs. But we spent time with one of his daughters and his grandkids, like during Christmas, and we had a complete blast. So we had a really good time.
That is great. Well, now as we look ahead into the year, so many people want to know, what can they expect from you in the coming months? What can we keep our eyes out for?
Well, more Mind collaborations. That is definitely that's the forefront of my mind right now, because we're just in real conversations about what's the next thing to do, what styles. This is actually, this is not for sale, by the way. This is just like a sample, ribbed, the same sort of material, but it's in a ribbed, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we see. So cute.
But I love this color, and so Helena gave it to me to just try it out. So yeah, we're playing around with stuff, and I am gonna do lots of dates this year on tour, so that's gonna be really exciting. And stay tuned for more.
Amazing. Well, we'll all be keeping our eyes out. Thank you so much, Catherine, for joining us today. It was so great to have you. Thanks for being so open with everyone.
Bye.
All right, take care. Bye now. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching Tomorrow by Today with Catherine McPhee Foster. This conversation will be saved on our feeds in case you missed some of it, and you guys can go back and rewatch. We'll be back here with more guests, so make sure to follow along on Tomorrow by Today. I'm Sydney Sadik. Have a great day, everybody. Bye now.